76% of millennials are living paycheck to paycheck, but here's the number that should actually keep you up at night. The average millennial has less than $5,000 saved for retirement, and by the time you finish this video, you'll understand exactly why that's happening, and more importantly, the single shift that changes everything. I'll get to that shift in a moment. But first, we need to talk about why you're doing everything you were told to do, and it's still not working. You did the thing, right? You went to school, you got the degree, you landed the job. Maybe not the dream job, but a job. And yet every month feels like a financial tightrope walk. One unexpected expense and the whole month is shot. Groceries cost what a car payment used to. Rent is absolutely insane. And don't even get me started on avocado toast jokes from people who bought their first house for $80,000. So let's look at the actual numbers. In 1990, the median home price was about $95,000. Today, it's over $400,000. But here's what makes that number truly brutal. Median wages didn't go up 4 times, they didn't even double. So the gap between what you earn and what things cost has turned into this massive canyon, and you're just standing on one side being told you should have crossed by now. Now here's where it gets really painful. Student loan debt for millennials averages over $30,000 per borrower. Credit card debt is at an all-time high, and the average millennial is carrying around $18,000 in credit card balances. So you're not imagining it. The math genuinely is harder for your generation. But wait, because this is where most financial content gets it wrong. They'll look at these numbers and tell you to just stop buying coffee, as if your daily latte is what's preventing you from affording a $400,000 house. That advice isn't just unhelpful. It's insulting, and it completely misses the real problem. The real problem isn't your spending, it's your system. And I promised you a shift that changes everything, so here it is. The single most powerful financial move a millennial can make right now is this: automate before you allocate. Let me explain what that means, because it's not what most financial advisors will tell you. Most personal finance advice starts with budgeting. Track every dollar. Cut this expense. Cancel that subscription. And that works for about 11 days before you're exhausted and you give up. The automation-first approach is completely different. Instead of trying to control your spending after the money is already in your checking account, you redirect money before it ever hits your hands. Here's how it works. Step 1. Set up a direct deposit split with your employer. Even if it's just $50 per paycheck going into a separate savings account, $50. That's it to start. You don't budget for it. You don't think about it. The money simply never enters the account you spend from. Step 2. Once that automation is running, you build from there. Increase it by 1% every 3 months. 1%. Most people won't even notice the difference. But over 2 years, that's an additional 8% of your income being saved without you ever having to make a decision about it. And step 3. The moment you have $1,000 in that separate account, move it to a high-yield savings account. The interest rates on these accounts right now are actually decent for the first time in over a decade. Your money starts making money while you sleep. This is the beginning of compound interest working for you instead of against you. Now, I need to pause here and address the elephant in the room. What if you genuinely don't have $50 per paycheck to redirect? What if things are that tight? First, know that you're not alone, and there's no shame in it. Second, the approach changes, but the principle doesn't. Start with $10, $5, $1. I'm completely serious. The amount barely matters at the beginning. What matters is that you build the system. Because here's what nobody tells you about personal finance. Building wealth is not actually about math. It's about behavior. And the most powerful financial behavior you can build is the habit of paying yourself before anyone else gets paid. The specific dollar amount is a detail you optimize later. The automation is the foundation. Now let's talk about investing, because saving alone will not get you to retirement. This is the second critical piece, and it's where a lot of millennials freeze. Here's the fear I hear most often. What if I invest and the market crashes? What if I lose everything? And that fear is valid. You watched 2 massive economic crashes in your formative years, the 2008 crisis and the 2020 pandemic crash. Of course you're cautious. But consider this. The S&P 500 has never, in its entire history dating back to 1926, lost money over any 20-year period. Never. Not during the Great Depression, not during both world wars, not during the financial crisis. Every single 20-year window has ended positive. So the question isn't whether the market will recover. History says it will. The question is whether you'll be positioned to benefit from that recovery when it happens. Now here's the practical move. If your employer offers a 401k match, that is free money. Not contributing enough to get the full match is literally turning down a 100% guaranteed return on your investment. There is no other investment on earth that gives you that. So even if you have debt, even if things are tight, prioritize getting that match. If your employer doesn't offer a match, or you're self-employed, or you've already maxed the match, open a Roth IRA. You can contribute up to $7,000 per year in 2024. And here's the beautiful part. The money goes in after taxes, which means it grows tax-free. And when you withdraw it in retirement, you pay zero taxes on the gains. Zero. Inside that Roth IRA, you don't need to pick individual stocks. You don't need to research companies. You don't need to watch financial news. Buy a low-cost index fund that tracks the total stock market or the S&P 500. Set it to automatic. And then literally forget about it. This is the system: automated savings, automated investing, and then you go live your life. You don't need to check your portfolio every day. You don't need to stress about market fluctuations. The system runs in the background like software updating overnight. Now let me give you the reality check that ties all of this together. A 25-year-old who invests just $300 per month with an average 7% return will have over $1 million by age 65. A 35-year-old doing the same thing ends up with about $470,000. Same monthly amount, same return. But 10 years of difference in starting time literally more than doubles the result. That's the power of compound interest, and that's why starting now matters more than starting perfectly. You don't need to be an expert. You don't need a finance degree. You don't need to time the market or pick the right stock. You just need a system that runs without requiring your willpower every single month. So here's your actual to-do list. Not 10 steps. Not a complicated spreadsheet. 3 things. 1. Set up an automatic transfer of whatever amount you can afford right now into a separate savings account. Even if it's $5. Do it today. 2. If your employer offers a 401k match, log into your benefits portal and set your contribution to at least the matching amount. Do it this week. 3. Open a Roth IRA with any major brokerage firm and set up automatic monthly contributions into a total market index fund. Do it this month. That's it. 3 actions. Each one takes maybe 15 minutes. And together they form the foundation of actual financial security. You're not behind. You're not doomed. The math is harder for your generation, and anyone who tells you otherwise isn't paying attention. But harder doesn't mean impossible. It means you need a system instead of just willpower. And now you have one. If this was helpful, there's more on the channel. Feel free to subscribe if you want to keep building your financial knowledge, and take one action from that list today. Your future self will thank you.